2025 in Antioch Township and/or Boone Township of Wexford County. It is alleged in count number 1 that you committed the offense of homicide, murder in the first degree, premeditated. That is a felony punishable by up to life in prison without parole and DNA to be taken upon arrest. In count number 2, it is alleged that you committed the offense of homicide, felony murder. That is a felony punishable by up to life without parole and DNA to be taken upon arrest. Both of those charges involve Rebecca Park. In count number 3, it is alleged that you committed the offense of torture. That is a felony punishable by up to life or any term of years, and consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 750.506 if the assault happened in a place of confinement. In count number 4, it is alleged that you committed the offense of conspiracy to commit torture. That is a felony punishable by up to life and or any term of years and a $10,000 fine, and consecutive sentence may be imposed if it happened in a place of confinement. In count number 5, it's alleged that you committed the offense of assault, pregnant individual, intentionally causing miscarriages, stillbirth. That is a felony punishable by life or any term of years. In count number 6, it is alleged that you committed the offense of conspiracy to commit assault, pregnant individual, intentionally causing miscarriage or stillbirth. That is a felony punishable by life or any term of years and or $10,000. In count number 7, it is alleged that you committed the offense of unlawful imprisonment. That is a felony punishable by up to 15 years in prison and or a fine of $20,000. In count number 8, it is alleged that you committed the offense of dead bodies removing without medical examiner permission. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year and or $500. Additionally, the prosecution has elected to charge you as a habitual fourth offender, which means that you have at least 3 prior either attempted or completed felonies in your past. That makes those felonies punishable by more than 5 years up to life offenses. Do you understand those charges and the potential penalties?
Yes.
You also have the right to have a bond set. Your bond is based upon the probability of you appearing at future court appointments, the seriousness of the offense charged, and the threat that you pose to the public. Historically, counsel, I show in 01 there was a forgery, 02 in receiving concealing, 200 to 1,000, 05 malicious destruction of property, 200 to 1,000, 06 driving the license suspended second, 06 driving the license suspended, 08 driving the license suspended, and 10 driving the license suspended second, 10 driving the license suspended, and 11 an attempted CSC 3, 11 larceny 1,000 to 20,000. Also in 11 there's an attempted larceny in a building and a joyride, driving the license suspended, and another driving the license suspended. In 14 there's a failed to comply with SORA requirements. 17 failed to comply with SORA requirements as a second. In 21 operating without a license. 24 failed to comply with SORA. In 97 there was a set aside for receiving and concealing $100 or less, not shown in his CCH but on the local record. There is an NSF check over $100 from, I believe that's 2000. The driving the license suspended from 2000. 05 there was a driving the license suspended. 06 driving the license suspended. 11 driving the license suspended. And 21 failed to display the license. I have reviewed the praxis. The praxis scores him at a risk level 4.
Thank you. The people are going to ask the court to deny bond in this matter. Under MCR 6.106B1, the court may deny pretrial release to a defendant charged with murder. He is charged with first-degree premeditated murder and felony murder, along with several other heinous crimes. In this case, we have 2 individuals that created a plan. They conducted research. They brought Rebecca Park to their home. They forced her into a vehicle and took her into the woods where they stabbed her, forced her to lie on the ground while they cut her baby out of her, ultimately causing her death and the death of the baby. This is as heinous and as awful a case as it could be. And I don't believe there are any circumstances in which Mr. Bartholomew should be granted any bond. Thank you.
Thank you. The court does find, based on the probable cause affidavits that I have read, the search warrants that I have read, and what's been presented to the court today, that Mr. Bartholomew does present his hopes of a threat and a flight risk to the community. As such, he will be held without bond. This is the case of the people of the state of Michigan versus Courtney Marie Bartholomew, case number 254994FY. We're here for an arraignment. Ms. Bartholomew, did you have the opportunity to meet with somebody from the Defender's Office either yesterday or today?
I did.
I have a complaint that alleges that on or about November 3rd, 2025, in Antioch Township and/or Boone Township of Wexford County, it is alleged in count number 1 that you committed the offense of homicide, murder in the first degree, premeditated, upon Rebecca Park. That is a felony punishable by up to life without parole and DNA to be taken upon arrest. In count number 2, it is alleged that you committed the offense of homicide, felony murder upon Rebecca Park. That is a felony punishable by up to life without parole and DNA to be taken upon arrest. In count number 3, it is alleged that you committed the offense of torture. That is a felony punishable by up to life or any term of years, and consecutive sentencing may be imposed if it happened in a place of confinement. In count number 4, it is alleged that you committed the offense of conspiracy to commit torture with Bradley Bartholomew. That is a felony punishable by up to life and/or any term of years and/or $10,000. And again, consecutive sentencing may be imposed if it happened in a place of confinement. In count number 5, it is alleged that you committed the offense of assault, pregnant individual, intentionally causing miscarriage or stillbirth. That is a felony punishable by life or any term of years. In count number 6, it is alleged that you committed the offense of conspiracy to commit assault, pregnant individual, intentionally causing miscarriage, stillbirth. That is a felony punishable by life or any term of years. In count number 7, it is alleged that you committed the offense of unlawful imprisonment. That is a felony punishable by up to 15 years in prison and/or a fine of $20,000. In count number 8, it is alleged that you committed the offense of dead bodies removing them without medical examiner permission. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year in jail and/or a fine of $500. Do you understand those charges and the potential penalties?
Yes, Your Honor.
On felony complaints, you have certain rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or write can and will be used against you. You also have the right to be represented by an attorney during any questioning that you consent to and the right to stop answering questions at any time. You also have the right to be represented by an attorney, and if you could not afford one would be appointed to represent you at public expense, but you may be required to repay a portion of that expense. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Today, do you plan to hire an attorney, represent yourself, or request the appointment of an attorney?
Request.
The court will make a referral to the Public Defender's Office for the appointment of an attorney who will enter a not guilty plea on your behalf and will set the matter for a preliminary examination. That's a hearing that's held here in the district court within 21 days. At that hearing, the prosecution will be required to prove 2 things. 1, probable cause that these crimes had occurred, and 2, probable cause that you were the person who committed the offenses. If the prosecution is not able to do that, the case would be dismissed. But if they are able to do that, you'd be ordered to stand trial in circuit court. Prior to the preliminary examination, there'll be a probable cause conference. That's where your attorney and the prosecutor will get together to see if there was a way to resolve the case short of going to trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You also have the right to have a bond set. Your bond is based upon the probability of you appearing at future court appointments, the seriousness of the offense charged, and the threat that you pose to the public. Counsel, the Praxis scores her at a risk level 2. In the defendant's past, I show in 15 a driving license suspended second, 18 driving license suspended, 19 allowing another person to operate in violation of the motor vehicle code, and 20 lying to a peace officer in a 1 to 4 year investigation, actually 2 convictions for that. In 05, a driving license suspended that was set aside. In 05, a financial transaction device fraud withdrawal 200 to 1,000 that was set aside. In 14, there was a driving license suspended set aside. In 18, false or forged ID set aside. On the local record, not showing in the CCH, there was an 03 stray dog and an unlicensed dog, 04 unlawful plate, 05 an attempt failed to record an accident, and 15 drive without a license, drive with a license expired, and 17 allowing unlicensed driver to operate, 19 allowing unlicensed driver to operate, and in 23 false report of a misdemeanor. The court does find, based on what's been presented to it today, the probable cause affidavit I've read and various search warrants I've read, that the defendant is both a flight risk and a threat to the community. Therefore, she will be held without bond I am going to order...
Your Honor, I have a
No,
court
no, 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 no. I'm also going to order that the defendant not having contact with Bradley Bartholomew, and I'm going to sua sponte go back and add that requirement to his bond conditions as well. Counsel, anything for the record?
No, sir, thank you.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, thank you, Wexford. I will hold off on calling the next cases to allow the courtroom to end, if they so choose.